I'm Bobby Cedro, and I'm with my good friend Bryan Kehoe.
Hello, friends. We're here at the Dunlop booth at NAMM 2012.
And we're with the Musicians Network, bringing to you the new pedals from Dunlop for 2012. Bryan.
Yes, sir.
I see you got your guitar in your hand already.
I got the guitar in my hand.
What do you think you want to start with?
I think I want to start with this Eric Johnson signature fuzz face. We worked 6 years with Eric. Eric is very particular about the sounds, very particular about what he uses, and a long process, but we finally came to a place where everyone was happy, Eric is happy, we're happy. It's a fantastic, and you can tell him about the circuit and what's it all
I'm going
about.
to tell you about the drippings. He told you about the metal, but the drippings are basically the insides, the BC 183, the silicon transistors. We actually found that these have the special match, obviously, but those get the Eric Johnson, the spitty, the high gain. Every fuzz face is different. Some are lower gain, some are higher gain, some get more raspy and spitty, almost on the throes of blowing up. Eric is on that kind of cusp, but it's still controlled. The BC 183s finally selected, which is what we do painstakingly, and then we hand tweak the bias so that we get a little asymmetric clipping, so it comes up with the Eric Johnson overall tone.
And this voicing, correct me if I'm wrong, is based after his favorite fuzz faces from like 67, 68?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Eric has a treasure trove fuzz faces. And they're also organic, depending on the temperature, the day, the mood. They kind of drift a little bit. So it took us 6 years to kind of narrow down the scope of what the grail, the holy grail should be. So we came up with this transistors, the special matching, and also the special biasing, and the special playing that now Bryan is going to give us.
And it sounds something like this. I'd also like to say it cleans up very nice.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Opens up nice, just like Bryan. You open up very nicely.
Yes, thank you.
Oh yeah. So the Eric Johnson Fuzz Face, new for 2012. A tone master. Now you can have a bit of that masterful tone in your closet, and then out of the closet into your hands.
So next up, what we have here is the Joe Bonamassa Crybaby Wah Wah pedal. It is a beautiful casting. We have the copper top, the black coloss bottom, and it's based on the Halo circuit, which was a vintage circuit in the early Crybabies.
Yeah,
is that correct?
The early days, we call it a halo because it actually has a halo. Sent from heaven, basically, because it looks like it's got a halo sitting over it. The material, the actual support snaps over it. It's got a little circle. The thing about this is that the way it's constructed, it's very musical, very alive. The problem is that it's also alive and a little bit too microphonic, but that's part of the character. So we tried to temper that a little bit without taking away any of its audio fun and all the bell-like growl and basic personality that the Halo has.
Throaty, kind of a hoarse morning voice, a bit smoky.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it really reflects what he's all about. Very smooth and raspy.
There's
There's
also a couple of bullet points here we want to talk about. There's a true bypass switch.
Yes.
Tell them about that.
What that does is basically Joe likes the old traditional bypass where the input of the guitar is connected to the circuit. What that does, it gives a little loading and natural sort of feel. But if you're a true bypass guy, we have a switch that you can switch it to true hardwire bypass.
Now tell them about the circuit board.
Yes, the circuit board. A nice thing to look at too. Basically, we did old school, big hunking resistors and capacitors. Everything is oversized, and just the way they made it years ago. Tweaker's delight. You can get in there and tweak around and screw around with it, and maybe change a few values yourself without destroying the board. It's not microsurgery here. Big old school stuff. Let's hear what it sounds like, Bryan.
Like this.
The M77 Custom Badass OD.
It's the next in line of the Custom Badass series. We took a classic, well, you know this, I don't know why I'm telling him, he's the one that did it.
Tell them.
Well, he took a custom, our classic overdrive circuit, and he added some custom functionality and some parameters to expand the versatility of the pedal. Why don't you tell him what you did?
Okay.
You smart man,
Hey, you. Thank you for the compliment, and let me see if I can carry it.
Smart and handsome.
Oh, well.
Girls he's spoken for.
And he can't see, brother. We need some glasses. So anyway, what happens, overdrive, you have to take a lot of the bottom out to get that nice punctual overdrive that cuts through the mix. That's just great. But when you're doing that, sometimes you really do miss that low end. So basically, the 100 hertz, we put in a knob that you can actually add the frequencies, the actual important frequency that kind of takes away from the punch in the that you feel the room. You can now add it back in, and it's selected and shaped so that it doesn't add any looseness, and it actually adds tightness, even more tightness, believe it or not.
The 100 hertz gives you your nuts back.
There
You really. I mean, the problem with a lot of the overdrives, when you step on it, the bottom end goes out, the top end goes out, you get all this nasally mid-range. But this 100 hertz was kind of a secret frequency that we found, that when you bump it up like that, you get your nuts back, you feel like you're playing rock and roll again.
There you go. So first up, let's hear it with bypass. And now let's hear it with the 100 hertz flat. So that's Bryan playing with middle nuts. Now we're going to give him bigger nuts. Chock full of nuts. So you heard the difference. It's amazing that 100 hertz has got to be sculpted just right so it doesn't get flappy, but you really get a lot of the things that are lost out of an overdrive. Now, we have one more secret weapon, a bump button.
Anyway, this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter. And then I'm going to push the bump button. You can hear the frequency shift. That might be a little subtle, but
what's happening is it's not just adding the 100 hertz, but it's bringing out the whole spectrum. So it really fattens and fills. So everything feels bigger. You actually also get a volume boost.
yes. And the best part about it, it says badass. Who doesn't want badass on their pedal? Badass.
It's a badass thing.
So next up is the Way Huge Red Llama. 20 years ago, George Tripp started Way Huge. This was the first pedal that he made public. So in honor of his 20th anniversary, happy anniversary, George Tripps.
Happy anniversary, George. Way Huge, brother.
We are re-releasing the Red Llama.
And Bryan loves this pedal because I'll show you a little trick that he likes to do. But right now, just play
I do like this pedal.
Yeah.
Bypassed. So you hear the articulate overdrive, the mids and higher frequencies are spanky, they're present, but on the bottom end, it starts breaking up.
Yeah,
Really nice.
It's got a lot of dynamic too. You turn the guitar down, it takes on a nice clean possibility. It's got snap.
So if you're a rock guy and you're already pushing the envelope as far as where the headroom is, and you want to go to 11, this is the pedal that will take you to 11.
Maybe if you're to 12 if you treat it right. Llamas are temperamental.
Now what I like to do, which is kind of crazy, I like to slam an overdrive, or an M77, into the front end of the Red Llama, and it starts breaking up kind of crazy, and it gives it kind of like a stony, kind of a stony jam.
Oh, bring it back, baby. So, I'd like to thank my friend I'm Bobby. 3, Slate. So I'd like to thank my friend Bryan Kehoe.
Which one is the dog and which one's the pony?
I don't know, but I'm glad I'm not the ass.
Mr. Bobby Cedro from Dunlop, wishing everybody else adios amigo, happy 2012 from the Musician Network.
Yes!